Hello, hello, everybody. Well, better late than never, right? I always think I have the webcam and the stand for the webcam. Well, this is my phone, but the stand for my iPhone all together, and then I figure out somewhere along the way that it's not working. So, welcome to a brand new FB Live series. I decided to do this on She Runs the Show because so many of you who are fans of this particular Facebook page know me in a lot of different areas. You know me from CassandraVaughn.com. You know me from SheRunsTheShow.com. You've listened to the She Runs the Show podcast. And for those of you who are watching this and you may not have listened to the She Runs the Show podcast, please go listen to the podcast. It's for women entrepreneurs who are looking to have both businesses that thrive and relationships that rock. So, we are doing a brand new FB Live series. I treated this like it was a television production, so we will see how it goes. But this FB Live series is called Welcome to Your Second Life. And it is near and dear to my heart for so many reasons. I think first and foremost, I am ushering in my second life right now. I'm beginning the process of creating a brand new life, a brand new start, the way that I want things to be, how I would like them to be, beginning with my desire and continuing with my joy, and focusing on how life provides for me every single turn of the way. It's a different perspective. It's a very different perspective. So if for you, you're at a crossroads, maybe you're at a crossroads in your business, maybe you're at a crossroads in a relationship, maybe you're at a crossroads because you just don't really know what you really want, or maybe you know, but you feel like, wow, I don't know if I can have that. You know, all of us go through that, right? I don't know if I can have that, whatever that is. This is the FB Live series for you. So it is called Welcome to Your Second Life. This is how it's going to work. I'm going to come on FB Live on the She Runs the Show page. So facebook.com/She Runs the Show. For those of you who are seeing this video on YouTube or somewhere else and you don't know where these lives are happening. And I'm going to come to you every Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Mountain. That's 4 p.m. and 10 p.m. Eastern. And we're just going to learn together and we're going to grow together and we're going to work together. So, welcome to your second life. What are you going to need for this journey? You're going to need a few things. So you're going to want to have a journal or notebook because there are going to be things at the end of every FB Live that I'm going to ask you to do. Reflections, questions, coaching questions to consider. You're also going to want to have a notepad and pen. Oh, it's kind of hot in here. A notepad and pen for aha moments that you might have as we go through this FB Live. So let me start off by talking about, I'm going to have to use a towel because I'm hot. Okay. All right, let's go. So the first FB Live is this. What is your second life? Wow. It is hot without air conditioning in Wyoming. I'm just saying, it's hot. What is your second life? Let's see if we can get started. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to move to another room because I am feeling way hot. Okay. What is your second life? So let's go ahead and start. I want to give you kind of an intro quote to think about. So I heard this the first time through Wayne Dyer. And he gave this quote, but it's actually a Carl Jung quote, and it's a pretty powerful quote. And the Carl Jung quote says the following: thoroughly unprepared. Oh, it's so hot. Okay. Thoroughly unprepared, we have taken the step into the afternoon of life, where still we take this step with the false presupposition that our truths and our ideals will serve us as hitherto. But we cannot live the afternoon of life according to the program of life's morning. For what was great in the morning will be little at evening, and what in the morning was true at evening will have become a lie. And the part that Wayne Dyer used to quote when he was alive was the fact that we move from the morning of our lives to the afternoon of our lives, only to figure out that everything we thought was true in the morning, when we get to the afternoon of our lives, turns out to be a lie. And in one sense, that may be a really sad thing, right? You think, wow, everything that I thought in my 20s, the things I thought were important, the things that I thought mattered, they don't really matter anymore. And, maybe you start to think, wow, everything that I believed in my 30s, now that I'm in my 40s or 50s, those don't matter anymore. Here's the thing about that. You get to decide what you believe. You get to decide what's true for you. The power of your second life is that you get to create it consciously. See, the problem with our first lives is that we spend so much time creating our first lives unconsciously. We unconsciously create the things in our first life, and we think that it's accident, or we think that somebody else did it, or we think that, circumstances and early childhood are to blame. Here's the reality. We create every bit of our lives by the way that we choose, by the way that we take action or don't take action, by the things that we say or don't say, especially by the things that we think or we don't think. And your second life is your opportunity to be really conscious about all the things that you're thinking, that you're saying, and that you're doing. The reason why your second life is so monumental is because your second life is your party. You get to create it. You get to have fun with it. You get to do the things you want to do. And so let's talk about what is your second life, because this is episode number 1, and we're going to work through how do you create your second life. But the first thing you got to know is, what is it? So your second life is the life that at any given moment in time you consciously create. You're choosing it. Like, this is your life. You have a moment where you say, I'm not going to play this by anybody else's standards, by anybody else's rules, by anybody else's games. This is my life. I get to be the center. I'm the writer, the producer, the director, the star. This is my life. What do I really want? And then you answer that question, and then you seek out, you attract, you look for, you find all the ways to create that life. So your second life is the life that you consciously create, and you do this through things like vision and purpose, and especially you do this through joy. I'm going to be talking a lot about joy as we go through these episodes to welcome to your second life. Joy is critical to creating the second life that you really want. You've got to feel joyful in the process. There is no happy ending to an unhappy journey, as Abraham would say. No happy ending to an unhappy journey. So the journey is everything, but it's the conscious creation of the life that you want on your own terms. Now, the second life begins the moment that you do 3 things. And this is why I said for every FB Live, have a notebook, have a pen, because these may be points that you're going to want to write down. So your second life starts when you do 3 things. Number 1, this is a big one. And this is one that most of us, and I will raise both my hands on this, get wrong. Your second life begins the moment you own the lessons of the past without reliving them. There's a difference between looking at the past and saying, okay, what am I learning from this? What did this come to teach me? What were the major lessons? There's a big difference between owning the lessons of the past and rehashing them, reliving the experiences, reliving the mistakes, blaming yourself, judging yourself, feeling like you have to stay stuck now because of things you did wrong before. So the first thing that ushers in your second life is being in a spot where you can say, yeah, I screwed that up. Or yeah, I made a mistake. Or man, I really messed up that particular thing. But owning it without rehashing and reliving it, you can understand your past without having to go back to it. And that's that's one of the 3 things that ushers in your second life. Second thing that happens and that really begins your second life is you get super clear on what you deserve, what you really want, and you make a commitment to never settle again. I have this whole email series called Never Again, and it's this 30-day Never Again challenge, which, by the way, I'm going to be revamping soon so people can sign up for it. There comes a moment where if you're really going to create your second life, you're really going to go all out, you've got to say, what do I really want? What do I really, really want? I don't mean like, what do I think I can get? See, a lot of people confuse that. A lot of people think that what they're saying they want is what they really want, when actually it's what they think they can get. So there comes a silence and a grounding where you have to go, okay, let's just take the limits off for 5 minutes. If there were no limits, what would I really, really want in my life? What would I want? So you get super clear on what you deserve, what you really, really want, and you commit to never settle again. The committing to never settling again is everything, because the moment you settle, you kind of go back to your first life. So building the habit of not settling is a key piece of this. The third thing that you do that really ushers in your second life is you decide, and this is a decision. This is not This is not I went to sleep and I meditated and I woke up and then I just was this way, right? You decide to be all of who you are. That means the powerful, the capable, the brilliant, the joyful, the happy, the kooky. You decide to be everything that you are, unapologetically, completely, and unequivocally who you are. You just go, this is me, welcome to it. And you be that. So those three things are critical to ushering in your second life. Number one, you own the lessons of the past without reliving it. Number two, you get clear in what you deserve, you get clear in what you really, really want, and you make a commitment to never settle again. And number three, you decide to be the powerful, capable, brilliant version of you from this moment forward, and you do that completely, unequivocally, and especially unapologetically. Okay, so tonight I'm going to talk about, on episode number 2, because I'm coming to you twice a day, 2 p.m. and 8 p.m. Mountain, I'm going to talk about the first 3 steps that you need to take to create your second life. So we've just talked about what is your second life. Tonight we're going to talk about what are the first 3 steps that you need to take to create your second life. But what I want you to do between now and then is a little bit of reflection time. So here's the thing, the key to creating a phenomenal second life, and I'm doing it right now, you're doing it with me, we're gonna do this together, is you wanna live in a state of joyful curiosity. You wanna define what you really, really want. Not in a way of like, maybe I can never get that. Not like that. You wanna really look at life and say, what's possible? Wouldn't it be great if I had this? Wouldn't it be great if life was like this? Wouldn't it be great if I was myself in this way? Joyful curiosity is what you need, and it's going to be constant. The other thing that you're going to need to create your second life is faith and self-belief. And I'm going to be talking a lot about both faith and self-belief. So when you're looking to create a phenomenal second life, number one, you've got to live in a state of joyful curiosity. Wouldn't it be great if I had this kind of life? Wouldn't it be great if I turned this around? Wouldn't it be great if I did this? Like that kind of intellectual curiosity, joyful curiosity, kind of creatively playing with your future is critical to creating your second life. But then you also need the faith and self-belief to back it, because what we do a lot of the times is we go, wouldn't it be great if I could live on a boat and just write books? And they go, but I can't do that. So we denounce the joyful curiosity with the doubt. So the 2 things that you need to create a phenomenal second life is you need the joyful curiosity and to live in that state, but you also need the faith and self-belief. But in order to have that, you've got to do some of the self-work. So the self-work looks like this. I want you to, between now and tonight, because I'm going to come to you tonight at 8 p.m. Mountain for a second one where we talk about and tonight we're going to talk about the first 3 steps that you need to take to create your second life. Hey, Joanne. Hey, Kathleen. So tonight, here's the homework, because if you're joining me a little late, I'd say watch the rebroadcast. I want you to do a little self-work between this FB Live and the next one. And here's the self-work. I can't believe how hot it is in this room. It's crazy. I want you to do some joyful curiosity, coming from a place of just thinking about the things that you really, really want in your life, thinking about what you want your second life to look like. I want you to say, coming from a place of where I stand right now is perfect, meaning, and I want to get this because sometimes it's hard when things aren't really perfect. So, coming from a place of saying, whatever's going on in my life right now, whatever La Vida Loca I've got going on, whatever thing is or isn't working, it's perfect. It's all perfect. It's all divinely ordained and perfect. It's meant for me because there are lessons I need to learn. There are experiences I need to have. There are things I need to see. There are distinctions that I need to make about what I really want and about what I'm not going to settle for that I couldn't do if I weren't getting the La Vida Loca, right? Coming from that place that this is perfect, everything that's happening is perfect right now. I want you to take some time before tonight's FB Live, and I want you to do, in a state of joyful curiosity, write down, and writing is important because it's a psychoneuromotor activity. I didn't get that out quite right, but it is. I want you to journal all the things in your life, in this second life, that you want to be, do, and have. Everything, brainstorm, mind map, put it out on a big poster board. I want you to really think about, with where I'm being, with that being perfect, with all of it being divinely perfect, where would I like to be? What would I like to do? How would I like? Joanne, you're right. We're exactly where we're supposed to be. I want you to use joyful curiosity between now and tonight to write down all the things you would like to be, do, or have. And then on tonight, join me back here on tonight's FB Live at 8 p.m. Mountain, 10 p.m. Eastern, because I'm going to talk about what are the first 3 steps to creating your second life. Thank you guys for joining episode 1. It will be on YouTube and everywhere shortly. I'll see you guys tonight.